Yo, what's up, YouTube? Corrupt Riku, and we're bringing you a Maliss deck profile. This post Alliance Insight. I do not have any March hairs yet, but if I do, I want at least one or two. I could run 3, but I just don't want to. Anyway, we're gonna go right into it. I'm also learning this deck. A little bit of a backstory with this deck is majority of the cards I pulled from a box. That's pretty much it. I have a QCR White Rabbit that nobody wants, so rip. Anyway, speaking of, we're gonna start off with our Maliss, our Maliss lineup here. 2 White Rabbit, 2 Dormouse, and 2 Chessy Cat. Like I said, I probably want 2 March Hare when I get it. 2 Underground, 1 of each trap, and 1 mirror. And that is the Maliss lineup that we have. You can easily get your traps back from graveyard or banish, especially with Maliss in the mirror. But honestly, I shouldn't really need to, I guess, talk about how Maliss works. You guys already know. You're in the know-how. I'm learning this deck somewhat, so I'm still not quite the best as others are with it, but live and learn. This is the support cards that we have here. So we got backup Ignisters. We got those at 2. Unicorns. We run those at 2. We run Bestials. 1 of each. Magma, Baldrake, and Tree Swarm. I don't know if I'm going to run any more than that, because honestly, I don't know if I really need it. 1 Dot Scaper, 1 D-Shifter, and 1 Lancia. You'll see why in a second, because I also run Crossout. So Unicorn obviously is really good if you open with it, special summon, because you don't have any monsters on your field, and then you get that effect where you can banish a card from their extra deck face down if they activate effects. Not too bad. The Dark Ignisters came in the Alliance Insight, and yeah, pretty much it's not too bad. If you control a Cyberse monster from your extra deck, basically you just special summon from the hand, and then you can search out a Malefic card, or like a dark, well, it would be a Malefic card, but it says Dark Cyberse, which is no big deal. So those are the backup squad for that. And then lastly, well, not lastly, but we got our hand traps: 2 Nib, 2 Droll, 2 Imperm. I'm running all those at 2 just because I feel like that's a sweet spot. I might knock a Nib down to 1, but we'll see how things go. How everything progresses throughout all the packs and whatnot I get. So 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, and that's the hand trap lineup. We're only running 12, which quite a bit, but it's very necessary when it comes to meta. Last but not least, all the remaining spells of the deck. 1 Allure because it's nice. 1 Defissure. Triple Tactics Talent. 1 Crossout Designator. Terraforming, Gold Sark, and a Called by the Grave. A lot of this is very, very, very standard. Terraforming is because we don't have a 3rd field spell that got hit. That's why I got the Terraforming in there. Honestly, everything else I really shouldn't have to touch base on. I threw Defissure in here. I tend to mess myself up with this card quite a bit because I tend to activate it right away, and I should actually be making my plays out first and then closing off with that. But you know, again, live and learn. Ain't too bad. Out of here. And then, so the extra deck, we got Link Rebo, one Haggard. I got a Dark just because, why not, honestly. SP Little Knight, Flash Mage, IP Masquerena, Nightmare Phoenix, Unicorn. You know, those are very, very standard. And then obviously the three boss monsters, White Binder, Red Ransom, and Heart's Cryptor. We run those at 1. Really don't need any more than that. And then finally we're going to close off with Firewall Dragon, Firewall Terahertz, the new allied code, Talker Ignister, and then obviously your Cyberse D-Save Worm for Terahertz. Honestly, if I were to change anything, let me know in the comments what you think I should change to make this a little bit more fluent. But like I said, I want to get rid of maybe one nib. I want 2 March Hare at least. Yeah, let me know. Like I said, I have not really looked too much into this deck. I have, but I haven't. Very easy for me to misplay just because I'm not quite hip with the effects and the timings, all the chains and whatnot. Sometimes I'll even forget to activate stuff from my banish. So honestly, this is my most expensive Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and I'm still learning how to use it. We got our side deck though before we close this off. 1 Meowls. I pulled 1. That's the only one I have. I'm not going to spend $50 on more. This is mainly for mirror matches. If I'd obviously want 3 for that. You got obviously your 4 girls. Very situational, just in case, you know. Another Chessy Cat in case I want one. Lancia, just because mirror matches. And then 2 Eclipse, 2 Allure, another Mirror, a Gordian Slicer, and a Harpy's Feather Duster. That's all I have. Obviously, this side deck is not the best. There's a lot of filler, like the Ghost Bell, the Ghost Sister. But honestly, this deck, it's a powerhouse, that's for sure. It's quite the powerhouse. But yeah, I will have plenty of other decks, like deck profiles out. I don't know when. I'll work on those as soon as I can. So give this a like. Drop below some comments. You know, some suggestions to add some cards into the deck. I know that Wizard Ignister, I need at least one of those because that pairs well with backup for sure. For sure. But yeah. Thanks, guys. See you in the next one. Peace out.